She pointed a bony finger at Eddie. "I remember you. You're the mean one." Eddie shrugged. "It must run in the family." "Humph," Aunt Mathilda grunted. "Who's that with you? I don't know him." Howie choked on a potato chip. "I'm Eddie's friend, Howie. Would you like some chips?" He held out the crumpled bag. "That's the garlic kind my Jasper always ate. It's probably what killed him." "Who's Jasper?" Howie whispered as he stuffed the bag into his shirt pocket. "My dead uncle," Eddie whispered back. Then, before Aunt Mathilda could say anything else, Eddie shoved the dish at her. "Grandma said to ask if you needed anything else." Aunt Mathilda nodded. "As long as you're here, you can water the garden." As they walked down the steps, Eddie and Howie heard Aunt Mathilda blowing her nose. "I never knew you had a crazy aunt," Howie said. "She's not half as crazy as Uncle Jasper was," Eddie said as he pushed open the back door. "We're just lucky he's not around anymore." Chapter 2. Weed Soup. "I can't believe she calls this a garden," Eddie said, shaking his head. "It's just a bunch of weeds." "I bet your Aunt Mathilda uses it to make weed soup." Howie laughed as he helped drag a garden hose between the gnarled trees. "Crabgrass salad, too," Eddie giggled as he tried to turn on the water. "Something's wrong with this faucet." "Let me try," Howie said, dropping his bag of potato chips on an old picnic table. "No, if I can't get it, you sure can't." Eddie didn't get a chance to try again because Aunt Mathilda's screech interrupted them. "Did you expect me to eat this with my fingers?" she yelled from the window. "Bring me a fork and a glass of water." Eddie shoved the hose at Howie. "You'll have to water the garden while I go water Aunt Mathilda." Howie looked at the old house as his friend disappeared inside. Several windows were broken, and wood was nailed over the empty spaces. The attic window was so high Howie had to tilt his head back to see it. What Howie saw made him freeze. Someone was staring down from the attic window. Howie rubbed his eyes and looked again. No one was there. "That's strange," Howie muttered. "You're strange," Eddie said as he came out the back door. "If you don't watch out, a bird will get you in the eye." Howie ignored Eddie's remark. "Were you just in the attic?" Eddie grabbed the hose from Howie. "I don't even know how to get to the attic of this joint." "Does anyone else live here?" Howie asked. "Just my crazy aunt." Eddie tried to twist the water spigot. "Why do you care?" "Maybe we'd better call the police, because I just saw someone in the attic." Howie pointed to the small window at the top of the house. Eddie stared at the window for a few minutes and then laughed. "Don't be silly. It was just a shadow from those big trees." Howie looked at the window again, but he didn't see anything because Eddie finally got the hose on and squirted Howie right in the face. "Cut it out!" Howie yelled. Eddie laughed. "I thought you might like to cool off." Howie backed away from the weed patch. "If you don't quit it, I'm going to the playground without you." "Okay, I'll stop it if you'll wait for me." As Eddie squirted the plants, Howie went to get his potato chips. Instead, he found an empty chip bag. "Who said you could eat all my chips?" "I told you, I hate garlic chips," Eddie said. Howie looked under the old picnic table and gulped. "Eddie, come here." Eddie dropped the hose and walked over to the picnic table. "What do you want?" he asked. Howie pointed. "Look under there." Eddie shook his head, but he glanced under the table. "So you spilled your chips. What's the big deal?" Howie banged his hand on the table. "Look, Eddie. Really look. This is important." Okay. Keep your eyeballs glued on." Eddie looked again. "Hey, the chips are letters. A-T-T-I-C. "What's that spell?" "Attic!" Howie yelled at Eddie. "Somebody spelled out attic." Eddie shrugged. "It's just a coincidence. Either that or Aunt Mathilda has smart ants in her yard." With that, Eddie stepped